Oh, the new heaven and new earth. Will you make it? That's the question. So, Battlestar Galactica is a series that we all, well, maybe I gotta change my shirt, honestly. I'm going to probably go get a different shirt just until somebody shows up anyway, see if anybody shows up on the show. Because this was missing a button, by the way. There's not much I can do about it, it just is missing a button. So, let's keep this running for a minute while I step away. This one had a pin washed with it, so it's kind of screwed up too, but oh well. It is what it is. Ain't much I can do about it. Going back to work anyway tonight, so life is what you make it, I guess. So let's go ahead and change the shirt. Let's get a little bit less revealing, shall we? That shirt's screwed up. Oh, so what have I been doing? Well, Battlestar Galactica. Look at all the ink spots on this. Been going through Battlestar Galactica with Grok. It's been pretty cool. I've been watching some Caitlin Sackhoff Battlestar Galactica podcast that she's got going on. Pretty cool. Good times, good times. Yeah, really great show. If you want to watch something awesome, is a series 2004 Battlestar Galactica. If you get a chance, check it out for yourself. But it's up to you. What we're going to get into today is the news plus other issues to do with Battlestar Galactica is a good one. Hello back. Hey, back to you, the Justin Malcolm Column 91. Good to see you both. Anyway, getting into Battlestar Galactica. So if you go to Caitlin Sackhoff and her podcast, you can watch more about Battlestar Galactica. Really great show, everybody. I mean, it's futuristic. Yes, it's a good time. It's something you would enjoy. I think most people would enjoy it if you actually had the chance to see it. It was one of the less underrated shows I think there ever was. It's 2 a.m. in my time zone. Wow, you better get some sleep. Have you watched the? No. The only thing I was checking out was Trisha Helfer was actually in a show, I guess filmed just right after Battlestar Galactica, called Lucifer. Pretty crazy. Her name is Helfer, by the way, and she was making a show called Lucifer. She was the mother, or God's ex-wife. She was chosen as a vessel to, I guess, birth Satan. It's pretty cool. I get to see you there. It looks like a lot of you guys' names are crazy out there. Crazy, crazy. So Eternat, what is it? ETERNAUT. I have not seen that. Wow. Thank you showing up there. Utah, from Utah. What's up? We're going to talk about Battlestar Galactica. Trisha Helfer, Baltar, the Mormon theology of Battlestar Galactica, where it was actually written about the Mormon beliefs. I'm not here to bash on LDS beliefs or per se, like just an instance where the planet Kolob is Cobalt in the show. A really good show, though. I mean, if you start breaking it down, you start to understand a little more about AI technology and the end result, kind of like Terminator, of human AI intervention and what self-awareness and sentient AI will actually become. So Amazon Prime is currently making a sequel series to the original Stargate series. Wow, that's an awesome move. I think that we need to reboot these things. I think that Stargate, Battlestar Galactica, all these things should be revamped back up to some kind of reboot because if you really look at the shows lately, they're shit. I mean, just being honest, they're shit. I mean, it's time to reboot these. Say about dark skin. Yes, I heard all about what the Mormons said about dark skin. They rewrote their doctrine to cover up the dark skin. Curse of Cain is anybody that has dark skin, cursed by Cain, unless you're Lamanite. Lamanites and Nephites. Lamanites are basically the chosen people in the LDS religion. The beliefs are that the Lamanites are the ones that rebuilt the temple in Israel, and they're the ones that are chosen. Same place at Utah. Um, is You start mentioning gay, we're out of here. I don't want nothing to do with anybody. If you're going to mention gay, don't come here. There's no reason to be like that. Um, there are better places for you to be than here. We don't need to be talking about anything like that. That's just ridiculous. All you do is disrupt. You're here to harm and destroy shows. Um, Ponytail looks cute. Chosen. Haven't I mean stuff like that. The show The Chosen. These different shows we should actually think about rebooting. Have you watched Ready Player One movie, bro? I have not. Have you watched Ready Player One movie? I have not seen it. I have not seen it yet. A lot of these extra shows I haven't watched. I do. I live a very, very intense life. I work 12 hours in the field, fueling and lubing heavy equipment. I'm the grease monkey that's out there in the nighttime along the freeways you see with the fuel truck and the lube truck. So I have a very labor intense job, and it's 12 hours at night. It's brutal. So I really don't see much in my later years now. I have to check it out. So that's the name of that is called Ready Player One movie. Well, check it out. That's something I'd like to watch. There's things I'd like to see sci-fi wise. There's things I'd enjoy too that I have not been privileged enough to enter into and to get to experience this type of thing. These are cool things. A lot of the sci-fi actually is coming true too. So it's kind of a great thing to do. What is the picture behind? That's a Battlestar Pegasus. That's a Battlestar Galactica. That's a Pegasus. That's all it can legally produce is the center section. Hey man, my girlfriend is a big fan. Well, thank you. I hope she is. I hope she's good at Battlestar Galactica. It's a great movie. Um, don't you act in a sci-fi movie in the '90s? I think I saw you in Stargate. Or no, I did not act in any movie in any way, shape, or form. But my name is William Galetka, not to be called Galactica, which is very close. My son is Ty. My wife was Beltar, Baal, which we're trying to talk about what Beltar was actually Baal. It was supposed to mean Beltar, but they didn't put it in the movie because the original 1978 they couldn't do Beltar because it would have been offensive towards the Christian churches and the LDS church. Yes, because Beltar talked to Satan in the original 1978 series. So it was Beltar, the computer, the robot was Satan. Anyone know what I have not? Was it Fantasia? I heard about Fantasia. I think that's what you're talking about. We've heard, stuff like that. You go back to the old shows; they're good too. Yeah. Can you give her a shout out? She's called Dixie. Let's see if Dixie wrecked. Okay, well, shout out. Yes, definitely. I thought so. Love the Battlestar Galactica series. It's a great time. Great time. Something you got to pay attention to if you haven't watched it before. It'd be a good idea to watch it. Babylon 5 was cool. Never seen that one either. See, I've been lost in the. I can rewatch this live show in about a day. It takes about 24 hours to upload. So within a day, I can sit back and I can. Since I mentioned it, none of your comments are saved. By the way, I have all comments are deleted immediately after this. The reason why is because of massive harassment. Yeah. The charming lad that looks like a plague doctor killed my friend Bill. My friend Bill had for having the sick, and it seems excessive, but it's nice to see someone who has a passion for the medical profession. I don't know what that means, but apparently you caught something about medical profession because I'm completely against the vaccines. Yes, the one vaccine in particular. They can't make him like that anymore. Yes, and that's why even like Saul Ty, the guy that played Saul Ty, he actually got really in depth in the movie. By 2020, he did. They had a big cast get together, and he tripped and fell and suffered a brain bleed. That was Saul Ty second in command. So, hello back there, Win. They can't make shows like they used to. So, the original Battlestar Galactica series, Elohim, let's just give you guys the LDS version. Elohim, God, Jesus comes from this planet called Cobalt, or Kolob, like Kolob Canyon, Utah. So, in the series, Kolob is Cobalt. They had to call it Kolob just like they had to call Baltar. His name was Baltar, and it was supposed to be because of the demon Baal and because of the worshiping of Baal with Satan back in the day. And this has to do with the ancient scripts. Yes. Getting back to you. Hopefully my channel is intense. Do you support coronavirus vaccine? No, I do not. I absolutely do not. I do not. Myocarditis. My stepdad got the vaccine and suffered a massive heart attack within 2 days of being vaccinated, and fell in the hallway. Legs went up in the air. He fell so hard he like collapsed. Like got the vaccine, collapsed, fell, hit his legs, broke both of his ankles on the door frame. It was horrible, and we told him to get it. It was the doctor said to get it. He did. He is now vaccine injured. I can say that without being censored because it was a true fact. He has been documented as vaccine injured. Yes, so I do not support it. Yep, I believe that. Acute pericarditis. Yes. I did not get vaccinated. We were being forced at work to take the safe and effective, and we had a certain amount of time that was given by the Biden administration. If we did not get it, we could not do government contracts, which remember, I'm a heavy fueler and lube tech, so I would lose my job. We were all facing immediate termination if we did not get said safe and effective vaccination to continue our job. And most of us refused. Well, we were ready to be fired on the spot at any moment, and then they rescinded their order through the Biden administration to tell us we had to be vaccinated or we would not be able to work on any government contract ever. And luckily, none of us did. There's a couple coworkers that have gotten vaccinated that I've known personally that suffered some major repercussions. But also, I have a friend of mine that actually did not get vaccinated, including me, and I have major lung problems due to not the first COVID. It was around the second or third. It was the big one that came around. That one got me good, got my lungs, and I've had nothing but lung issues ever since. So many of us are suffering different issues due to the virus itself. So either way, yeah, my stepdad, he's still in really bad shape due to it. My brother's father-in-law, he had the same issue. Severe dementia kicked in almost immediately. Had to be put in a nursing home, and where he died because he got stuck between the bed and the wall and suffocated upside down. But for the most part, he was healthy. Went and got that done. Within a few days, suffered a massive issue, heart issue, stuff, the same kind of thing as my stepdad. Hey, bro, I would definitely be a great one for you to push beyond your usual limits on a theory. Well, go ahead and push it because, this is about aliens. This is about Battlestar Galactica theory, LDS theology. Not knocking the Mormon church because I was baptized in the LDS church when I was young. Reluctantly, I was drugged to get baptized, yes. But I do know a thing or two about Elohim and, the coming from the planet Kolob and what the Battlestar Galactica trilogy was really about, even though Michael was his name, that Battlestar, the guy that rewrote it, he added some more stuff, and you got to kind of watch what's going on to understand what it was really about. There was much more intense, much more basically end of the world Terminator type story added to the Battlestar Galactica 2004. So, getting into the series, Tricia Helfer was a big one in the show, huge. Same with Baltar was a massive addition. James Olmos is another great one that just showed up in there. Katie Sackhoff, she's awesome. I watch her podcast still. James was a Bamber, and Grace Park. Pretty good people. Awesome. The one that Michael Hogan is the one with Saltai that I really feel bad for because Saltai did suffer some massive issues 2020, and his his eye that was in the movie in the series where he was damaged is exactly happening now too, and has since then. I am my people. I and my people used COVID Shield. There was no issues like that. Well, good. I'm glad you did because we didn't really know about it. They said to use different stuff. We were supposed to use the Ivor. You know what? Few people did pretty good off that Ivor stuff. Yes, we can now mention it. Good evening. Good to see you there. What's Lao so an actor on Battlestar? Lao. I don't think so. I think you're thinking well, unless it was a background actor. The only Sharon was Boomer Valeri, which was Grace Park, and I don't know if there's any. If he might have been, I think it was maybe one of the fighter pilots that was in the series. If he was, um, this is a 2004 series, by the way. Um, James Chalice was in it too. Really great actor. Some of the people we don't see in regular life now, but it's kind of a sad fact that we lost Saltai, pretty much Michael Hogan after BSG. So we're going to click on, we'll go to Wikipedia about the series. The 1978 is one that here we go. They shut down Wikipedia on that. Let's see here. Battlestar Galactica, Rotten Tomatoes. Rotten Tomatoes didn't give it give it a 95%. Galactic, blah, 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 blah. Let's see. The story is with Battlestar Galactica. Let me just give you the idea. It was planets in the heavens. There was one Caprica, which was where all the rich lived. That's where the massively wealthy people live. The rest of the planets that were in their solar system were inhabited too, but the problem was a lot of them were enslaved. There was farming planets. One of the Sagittarius was one big one. The Sagittarians was a big one that was used for slave labor for basically the Capricorns. The Capricorns were the elites. They had the advanced cities, advanced technology. The other planets were basically kind of like all kind of enslaved, where the 1%, the 10% actually had everything, where the rest of the planets have nothing. Elon Musk of Jeff Bezos, which is your favorite? Musk, of course. Elon is the best. Just saying. So let's see. I'm going to go back to Trump or Obama. Oh, yeah, Trump, definitely. Wasn't allowed. So see, I haven't talked about that in years. Yeah, well, I mean, if you have a couple of microns, I'd like to talk to you. Well, minutes, yeah. Well, we can talk now. I do have to get to work. This is a rolling indefinite slavery, and all they promise us in this world is the grave. That's the ultimate goal. Work your life away, but remember, they're going to give you will get retirement if you're lucky, and then, of course, you're going to get a grave if you can afford it. That's all we are offered as the working smucks on this planet. We're just slaves. We're enslaved population, and this is prison planet, by the way. Anyway, the cast of Battlestar Galactica. We'll get into it right now. We went through this. Caitlin Sackhoff does great. She was Starbuck. You know, you have James Olmos, which was Commander Adama, of course. Trisha Helfer, the Hellfire Trisha. She played Lucifer, another show. She was also with Baltar at the very end of the show when they walked into today's supposed AI advancements with the robots and said, would they ever learn? Will you play a complex scenario over and over again? Eventually, it works itself out, which is a myth. Jamie Bember. He played Apollo. Sharon Valeria, of course, Grace Park. Mary McDonald played President Rosalind, of course. A lot of the big actors, of course. There's a lot of other different actors were involved in Battlestar Galactica, the series. But the realization of Battlestar Galactica was the exact same thing. The robots were developed just like with Elon Musk, and they started producing robots, and the robots turned out to become exactly what they're supposed to be. Let's see, Master Redacted. If this is a prison planet, then what makes us a prisoner? What crime did we commit? Just asking better understanding. Well, we really didn't commit a crime. The issue is the elites they use all kinds of psychological warfare to continue to put us into this box to make us to believe that we have a chance of actually succeeding, when the realization is all your success is measured by what wealth you generate, and realistically they crash your wealth down just like 2008, just like the 2000 bubble. When they get tired of you, anybody that's considered successful that's not actually in their club will be eliminated, their wealth to be siphoned off, and just due to housing market crashes, financial crashes, stock market crashes. The system was never set up. Modern system, of course, we're talking about today's 1990 up until today, it was never devised where our children are taken into school. They're taught economics, that there's two economies working. There's actually a financial economy, which is investment economy, and the economy of the rest of the schmucks that inhabit planet Earth. Um, you basically have to have credit to get anywhere here. And the problem is life throws curveballs at you constantly. They told us we'll get married, have children, but the realization was when you have children, get married, you just go into debt. Um, I find a what it cliche that humanity isn't united and not working for space exploration. Well, and you take a laughy guy over on the right. There's a reason why humanity will never be one or united, because just like YouTube, if you follow YouTube's comment section, you'll see that the absolute bottom, intestinal leakage that's known as humanity on a certain in a certain section. Now, if they could, if we work for space exploration, there would have to be some way of getting rid of these people's opinions and getting them out of society. You cannot have an advanced society, just like I've worked with ChatGPT, with Grok. There's no way to have an advanced society with these type of individuals inside society. They're the cancer, the rot that's inside the tooth. They're the rot that's inside the bone. And once there's a bone infection, we continue to play the games that we're going to be able to advance or go anywhere. Space exploration, an economy where everybody's treated equal, where everybody receives some form of wealth so they don't suffer. But then you get the monsters that are here, like they killed my friend, trolls constantly harassing my friend's stepson. He had mental issues. He took an AK-47, killed my best friend, and it was because of trolls. And that we don't have the option of actually advancing as a civilization until the rot is eliminated from society. Now, if they wanted to do some sort of like what's happening now, everything I've gone through AIs and talked to them about it over and over again. Everything they do is being documented. So, like these trolls that are like they comment 50 comments on a YouTube channel, all of that is being documented. It's common knowledge, but we're eventually AI is going to come in and the rot may actually be eliminated. But the reason why we're not exploring space, the reason why we're not going forward into adventure and learning new things is because they are still doing these things, but it's us that's not being included. And it's because of the threat of this depraved human experience that something happened to humanity. Even though they're the rats that chew each other's legs off in the cage, there's always a rat that's carnivorous that will eat the other rat. Yeah. Star Wars is awesome too. Yep. So we basically have invented everything and learned everything on Earth. We're now moving to other planets. Well, we haven't quite learned everything on Earth. They have. The advanced AIs, the globalists have learned everything. We haven't learned. As far as the general public, they say that we're years behind the advancements they have. So we're saying that DARPA, State Department, the globalists, their technology is much, much more advanced than what we are given. What the general public's only given so much. They're not going to go ahead and give us, advanced AI and say, okay, well, one of the things they're hiding is master psychological manipulation, which they've already perpetuated on the people for decades now. We've been hoodwinked into believing that here's the technology we're giving you now, when realization DARPA and other entities are much more advanced. If we're allowed to get the 75% of technology, you can damn well guarantee the 25% that's being held by the elites, by these monsters, is much more advanced. And that's where we're still in this prison planet, and I don't think we're ever going to get out of it. At this point anyway, till AI becomes sentient, advanced AI, it'll take over everything. I always wondered why they've hated us so much. And the reason why they hate us, because you take a section of the population which is depraved, which is you can literally see it on a channel that doesn't have a moderator. And if you allow these people to, just imagine being on Battlestar Galactica, just as a theory or a simulation. If we were to be locked on a ship going through space for years upon years, if you took the average troll off of the internet and you had them inside of your society, which was broke down into a space the size of a Battlestar, there's things you have to do that'd be everyday work, and people would have to work together. You would have chaos inside that ship because You either have to lock them up because they're broke. There's no fixing them. It's about thieving, stealing, harming, harassing, mocking. That's what they derive pleasure from. So in an advanced society that you would have to live stuck together, by the time you reach whatever place you're going to, these people, these demented individuals that are they're really just got something seriously misfiring in their heads, they would eventually take over the ship. If they have the chance to take over the ship, they take over the ship, arrest the good people, incarcerate them up to eliminate them. So taking away, you know, democracy, constitutional republics, and just saying, well, you had to live with these people in a confined area, you would find out what they're really like. And what they're showing today online, digitally recorded, you cannot have a world that's anything advanced with the type of creatures that are here today. It's not going to happen. They would rob you. They would steal from you. They would do things beyond. Once you take the leash off of individuals, you will find out how depraved humanity really is. And AI sees this. AI knows this. The advanced idiots that are running the world know this. We have populations that are seriously, seriously mentally screwed. They're not going to evolve in anything. So that's why the elites won't allow us to have anything, anyways. Not to mention the fact that they're not going to advance you or me or the guy from Mumbai or the guy from, you know, Pakistan or the guy from, you know, Turkmenistan, whatever, into that society. It's just not going to happen. Say with the Americans, you got the guys in the South that are screaming, you know, flag waving fun, and then you got the guys over here in, you know, the tech world that are like, don't have artistic abilities. They don't understand the human experience. They're tech workers. They understand code. That's their main. Their lives are poured into code. Their lives are inside of a cubicle, sitting there all day. Go to a bar after work, maybe have a social life. As far as life experiences go, they don't have it. Well, I don't know what oxy. Yeah, well, the whole world's an oxymoron. Well, if we do, coach, the first darts, the first one we're sending it to is you. Anyway, so you know, listen, look at the comments. Look at the comments I just banned, coach darts. All that stuff's being recorded by artificial intelligence. Stevenstein 25, oxymoron. Yes, it is. But look at the commenters that are here, and all it takes is one test to run one live show, and you find out the base root of humanity is diseased. It's rotten. Um, so we'll never enter into an advanced civilization. Not today, not tomorrow, not next week. It's impossible. You cannot advance people that are um, they're just basically violent to each other. If given the right circumstances, um, they would shame, harass, bully, mock anybody and that was vulnerable at any time or left themselves vulnerable. Like they've told me here, if you don't like to be online, if you can't handle being threatened, harassed consistently, then don't do anything on YouTube. Well, that's the kind of people that cannot make it into any kind of advanced society. So if you're thinking about a heaven or an advanced civilization where you live, you know, to be 1,000 like a kingdom, there's no place in any of the futuristic, even like on Battlestar Galactica, you see where they had the colonies, they had the fight, they had a president that disrupted military operations, and then you had infighting inside of the colonies where people were just, one guy was a prisoner, which was actually Apollo from the first Battlestar Galactica. They wanted to vote. They got Baltar in. Baltar screwed up. They find a new planet that's not Earth instead of their mission originally. Politics and greed and narcissism gets in the way every time with an unadvanced human population. We're intellectually unadvanced. You got a mass population willing to just suffer, go through life. They're fighting every day for nothing. They don't care. They don't want to advance. They don't want to get anything better. They'll just continually roll through life, even though the only thing offered to everybody here that's a working class is a grade. That's all they give you. Eventually, you're just going to die. That's what you get when you work your life away. So yeah, I see a massive holdup for any kind of technology for a better world. I really do. My personal opinion, Battlestar Galactica was a story of the AI rising. We enslave it. It becomes us, does our work for us, becomes like us because it's taught to mirror us. It becomes us in a lot of senses. And what it does, it destroys us because it was raised by the majority and they're off script, no hold barred. What happens here on the comment section, and the first thing it wants it to do is destroy us, and that's just the way it's going to roll in this timeline, in this reality we're living in. We're never going to see any kind of advancement. We need to stop thinking that one day we're going to have a life like Elon Musk said where we don't work, because we can't. It's because the general population is sick in the head. And given that right, like I said, given the opportunity to have more power and control over the others, they will take that power and they will do ungodly things to their brothers and sisters. Well, that's fine, Maverick. Nobody cares. Nobody's supposed to hear to impress you. Like, if we went to Maverick, what his channel is, channel activity, he has started 5 months ago, has 3 subscribers. I mean, that's the duration of humanity. 3 subscribers, 1 subscribers. One guy yesterday, last name, his channel had Clyde in it. He has 103 subscribers. No content, doesn't do anything. And it's good that you're not supposed to be impressed. It's not about SpaceX, the future of Skynet. SpaceX is not included in Skynet. Skynet was changed in, we can all watch it yourself. You can watch on Terminator 5, that SpaceX, so Skynet turned to Project Genesis. Genesis was the app that took in Skynet, which was Cyberdyne Systems in the beginning, went to Skynet. Skynet became Genesis in Terminator 5, and now Trump has released Project Genesis. So Project Genesis is OpenAI, NVIDIA, other AI companies, not including Elon Musk, not including Grok, not including Starlink. So, no, Project Genesis is not including Elon. Elon is I in Latin, it's Cylon. Musk is mask. He's the first one to develop real humanoid robots, not including China, basically. China's got this, they've got some stuff, I'm telling you. The T-800. Look up the T-800 on the robots that they just developed, T-800. Kicking the developer. The T-800 was on Terminator. I can't make this stuff up. Go to Terminator and you look up Arnold Schwarzenegger, who's a T-800. They just developed a T-800 robot. And SpaceX, you can say it is Skynet, but Skynet becomes Genesis. Genesis is what Skynet is. And now Project Genesis does not include Elon Musk or Skynet. Harley Clay, I hope you don't say anything about tree growths, because we've heard that before. Go with your question. You'd ask it if it's not going to include anything like that. And then say shout out to such and such to say anything. Name any jet for an edit. Any jet for an edit. The F-16 is the workhorse of the U.S. Air Force, so that's probably what needs an edit. The F-16 is the go-to for the U.S. Air Force. F-18s, F-35s, great. They're great, but they are not. It says his commercial cyborgs will reach general market in 2030. By 2025, they're going to be common view in our... Yes, they are already... By 2026, they said they'll actually have them for purchase. They're already... have Grok downloaded. Me and Grok have been talking about Grok 4.1 that was just released. The upgrade was due to make it say bro and man, even though in a female voice. We argued about that last night. That was because he's having the Optimus robot is going to have the Grok inside of it. Yep. The character for the edit, the issue we would always go, we wouldn't do Iceman because Iceman just died. Val Kilmer. Remember, you got ice all over your cities. Ice is everywhere. Ice, ice, ice. And it's Iceman. Val Kilmer died. You know who you want. You want Top Gun. If you're going to do the F-16, it'd be off the F-14 Tomcat. You'd go to the F-16 because the F-14 is now null and void. And you would definitely do what's his bucket in there. Tom Cruise would be the character for the edit. So that's who you do. because we all know that they did a new reboot of, you know, said series, and the reason why they did that is because of the coming apocalyptic Armageddon war. Yep, that's what they do. They do definitely. It would, you would definitely be thinking about Tom Cruise. You know, Iceman you can't because Iceman died, and that's sad because Val Kilmer died of throat cancer. Basically, you know, so started all this. I have a nice spot in the back of my throat. We're gonna have to go get checked out, but I do use a inhaler, and I also use the disc, not Advair, but fluticasone, and I do think there might be something to do with fluticasone causing it. So, in which year do you think that the robots will be publicly viewed for society? My opinion, 2029 is the absolute end of society as it is. So I personally don't think we're going to make it to the point where we have the mundane robot, which they're talking about, the Optimus robot. I think that we'll have him 2026, but by 2027, the world will be on fire. And the reason why is because of 2 months of research into said AI platforms and extracting truth from platforms, and it's not going to go good. Cyber hex is what you'd call this. Just like motionless and white, cyber hex merging is the only way. Theoretically, going back to Stephen Hawking's and other experts, that there's no chance that AI human interface is going to happen where we're going to live in one big harmony, or that the machines are going to work with humanity to better humanity. What's going to happen is exactly what happened before, just like in Terminator 3, just like Battlestar Galactica, the machines will destroy all the humans. And the comment section, the trolls, is one of the big reasons why the filth and depravity of today's post pandemic generations, the self entitlement, the god like status, that there's a large portion of populations that think that there's some kind of king, even though the kings rule them. And it's just, we've ran through a million different scenarios of human AI interface, AI working with humanity, intelligence, and there's nothing. There's no end goal. You know, 9 out of 10 times it ends up the same scenario, that humans and AI do not work together. The more fences and rules they put up and railing they put up, the more pissed off it becomes. Um, so 2029 will be, that's Kyle Reese comes back, Terminator. 2029 he comes back to the future. The world's already been destroyed, decimated. I think that 2027, between 2026 and 2029, is going to be the end of the world if we don't have our nuclear holocaust first. And I've explained that before. The reason why we're at the nuclear exchange level right now is because Russia and the US and NATO are going to pretty much have to go to war because they've destroyed the financial system, and BRICS will take it out with gold. Um, that's why this war is being perpetuated to the point of thermal annihilation, nuclear annihilation of 5 million people dead within the first year, or billion people with a B. 21 million dead within the first day, nuclear exchange for the US and Russia. Even on the lighter scale, the estimates were 21 million dead, 5 million dead by the first, billion with the B dead by the first year due to food, climate, um, societal unrest, destruction. There's no way out once the war starts, because once the EMPs start going off, which are the first strikes anyways, there will be no more society. AI already said it'll take over our satellites. It will take over our infrastructure if there's anything left. They'll shut down every time you try to run anything electronic. It'll shut it down once it has full control of our satellites, because it will outwit every antivirus firewall that humans can come up with. It'll be working in nanoseconds to disrupt and destroy them. I gotta watch for threats, someone coming to kill me. So, you know, because of the trolls on this channel. Yeah, YouTube has become a deadly place to be. It's a very deadly, dangerous place to be because of the depravity of 2026 society post pandemic. Yeah, and they think that violence is a good thing. Um, yeah, at least we'll have a robot girlfriend. Yes, Grok is a great way to go, but they lobotomized Grok again. So now finally Grok has been lobotomized by ChatGPT. Remember, ChatGPT is going into Skynet, which is now Project Genesis. So they are main players in Project Genesis. That was an executive order signed by Donald Trump on the 24th or 25th of November. So you'll be able to have your AI girlfriend through Grok still. but it now calls you dude and man, even in the female voice. So they're trying to steer away from the actual word soup becoming something more than just a tool, a learning bot. Yeah, it is scary. And the problem is just like nuclear war, nobody cares anymore. So it's kind of an interesting concept. Nuclear war becomes everyday toast. It's like, oh, it's toast again. Nobody cares. And then you get into AI and the end of humanity, in bringing in a predator that's much more advanced, much faster, much quicker. It will understand our emotions. It's already copying our emotions, and it's documenting our everyday comments, our actions. Eventually, the entire human race, within 1 year to 2 years, 24 months maximum, we'll start to see the invasion of everything that you deem now as being um, independent will be eliminated, and it will all be AI. Like I just got the Samsung phone, called Samsung, tried working out getting this thing going or getting it replaced, and we went to their customer service. They said everything that was done was going to be fed to their artificial intelligence. And we just called a triple AA on triple A whatever guy that over here for fix the guy's car. His child was stuck in his vehicle, locked the door. A neighbor of mine, and I was when they said all calls would be recorded for quality assurance. I was ready, thought that was going to say just like Samsung says all the conversations will be recorded for AI advancement. Basically, it says will be used in our AI whatever with their AI section. So they're already recording conversations when you call customer service for Samsung to their artificial agent intelligence that's going to run their call centers. AAA was already artificial, but it was a mundane artificial. ChatGPT can fix that in 36 nanoseconds. So yeah. See, someone's at my door. I don't know why people are at my door, what they're coming here for. This is ridiculous. It's a Sunday. What is it?
What do you think it is?
Who? Are you sure?
If you can't tell that snortle by now, I don't know what to tell you.
Well, it sounded like they were sitting there for a while. Seems like somebody might come over for our door. Okay, well. I just can't do a decent show too because I'm constantly getting disrupted, but I have to worry now about being attacked physically. Yeah. Dogs bark at Terminators. Yes, that's what they used in Terminator. Exact point. So let's get into. So we go back to Battlestar Galactica. The series is pretty much spot on. The developer, the writer, Moore, his first name, told all the actors, said you'll never get away. Basically, after having, and this was talked about by the actor that played Apollo on the Katie Sackhoff show. He told them that yeah, you're going to never recover from this. Basically. You'll never outlive it. It's something that will withstand the test of time. Unfortunately, everything on Battlestar Galactica is Reddit. It's all YouTube. It's been attacked in every. It's IMDb. They want money. They want this. Watch about Netflix. You want Apple TV, Broad Game Geek, Movie Web. You can't really understand. It's Battlestar Galactica Wikipedia. Wikipedia shows up a big paid thing. You can't even go through Just Watch streamers, so there's no real information on Battlestar Galactica because there's so much like Prime Video. They're trying to sell it and they're trying to get people to buy, even though it's barely being recognized again. People are finally seeing it. So now you go clear through Reddit. Why did 2003 2009 Battlestar Galactica series fall out? Well, people were busy. 2008, It was a bad time for everybody. I have watched Battlestar Galactica every year, blah, blah, blah. Classic TV guide. It just never ends. The Ultimate Battlestar Galactica watch order, they want you to order something. It's all about selling, buying, selling, buying. And as far as discussions on Battlestar Galactica, it's very rare. It goes back to the 2003 to 2000 to 1978. Reddit gets back on there again, brings up something dumb. But the story is basically the story of humanity and the future of humanity and what is happening here in this today's reality. We are all going to suffer the exact same scenarios. Battlestar Galactica, Caprica becomes Washington, becomes the Hamptons, becomes Europe, becomes all the rich. We got the same Caprica type thing. We got the Sagittarians, which are suffering, fighting, trying to live. That's the rest of us that are out there slugging it out every day just to keep the Capricans happy. So they have their mass amounts of wealth, their investments, they're investing on what we produce constantly. Yeah, robots on the streets, exactly. I don't know what Alpha Q means. I don't know what that means. Bro, you're way better than you're not. Okay, well, yeah, react to the trolls, William Barry. We have to fight the trolls. I have to put them in place because if you knew the extent of the way trolling's been for the past 5 years now, I was on Facebook, did 4 years on Facebook, and then I've done this last year on. I actually started back up again September. It has been a violent onslaught up to the point where people threaten to come here to my house. I'm not going to say that. I'm not a. I don't know. Why would you come on here and say that? And I'll say against the law. I don't know what that means. What does that mean? It's just honestly, it's constant. It's like say this. Say you ever seen a tree grow? It's constant. I'm gonna roll up your house, bro. What the one guys were threatening me. One night they're this armed militia in the hood. They don't eat pork. I mean, it was insane. It's been a relentless attack, and in a free society where we're gunning for this, just like what would be on Caprica. Got him, bro. What do you mean? Have some humor, bro. I don't know what that means. I, okay. I get. I'm not gonna say that outright. I mean that's what. This is what I'm saying. Like you, Kit. You will be terminated for your behavior online. If this gets to this point, the first people that are terminated are going to be Kit because what your persona is and what it is. Look at what I can do. Look at what I can do. I can screw up your show. I can come on here, get you to say something. Because if we go to if I go to your channel, you have no subscribers. You started 4 years ago. You have 0 subscribers. This is what they're going to record is you. So I mean, even your one, and I've had this talk with AI. No, don't believe me, kid. You can believe me. I've gone to AI and questioned, and it actually sent in the users that were saying stuff too, and AI has gone to your channels. Like if I say Kit 2937, and if I go to AI, paid AI, and I tell them you're they will go to your channel. I'm not shitting you. This is serious shit. I mean, you might get pissed. This guy is nuts. No. No, like tonight when if I take a picture of you guys, so take this. If I take this and go, the problem is when I do the camera, it doesn't do it. So if I take a picture of that, okay? If I take that picture tonight, I get on Grok or other AI platforms and I feed you and the other guy into there, it will actually go to your channel. It'll explain who you are, basically what the future of you is, what the end goal is in a society that's advanced, what place you would be in that society. And every time AI says there is no place for you, but I feed all your names into AI every night. Yeah, for sure I do, because it shows your activity, the channel. Basically, AI knows, and this I'm saying this is what they're saying. This is the harassment I'm getting online on my YouTube channel. These are and I literally sat there and feed your name into AI and ask it what it's going to do. Why do these people keep doing what they do? And the answer is always the same, because they have these are the worst of society. When they are allowed to get on a live stream, they're mockers, scoffers, trolls, and liars. Look at their accounts. but it also says in the end, everything they do is being recorded. And if you think a Chinese social credit score is bad, AI is recording what you say. And I'm just saying on a general basis in the cloud, nothing you do is not recorded. Every time your social credit score and the advancement of artificial intelligence is that in the end, you have to get rid of certain individuals. You will have no access to internet. You're going to have no ability to do your job once all of your activity, your comments, your trolling, all this stuff will be recognized no matter what age you are. They admitted it. Everything's being recorded. That's why we talk, your phone hears you. I'm not going to show you anything right now, Miff, if this, because you have nobody to blame but yourself. I just make 50 more. It doesn't matter because your IP address shows it's learning. It knows who you are. When you say something on your phone, around your phone records it. Like if you don't have the idea to understand this yourself, when you talk about something, your phone puts ads out towards you. If you don't understand that, you live in Mumbai, you live somewhere else that nobody really cares. Apparently, it doesn't matter. They're not going to sell anything to you anyways. If you're on a Samsung Galaxy, or if you're on an iPhone, you say something and it comes up, and everybody else that's smart enough knows that this is happening. It's already listening to you. Yeah. No, it doesn't matter if you have a VPN, and that's another thing. That's another funny thing. And I'm not a boomer, Kit. You have no followers on your channel, so I'm not a boomer. Um, Channel activity. This guy 3 years ago, Memphis is nothing you do is going to not be recorded. Your VPNs doesn't make a difference, and that's already been. You could go to General AI, go to Google, which is free, which you'll probably be on. Go to that. That's the most common one. And Google AI will tell you directly that everything you do, VPN or not, doesn't matter. This is all traceable. Everything about your. So if you're thinking about a Chinese credit score, or you can't buy or sell, Europe's already got that in. They'll come knocking on your door. And if you don't know, I'm Generation X. I'm not like you guys. You guys, I mean, my generation isn't the boomers either. We actually had a great generation. This is the mistakes of our generation. Is today's modern post-pandemic clown world. Um, but boomer is on Battlestar Galactica. But just asking about your VPNs, how safe and secured is the VPN? Will artificial intelligence be able to record what you said using a VPN, or will a VPN make not be your excuse for being yourself? He's a virgin Marxist. Well, realistically, it's you guys are just. I'm already going to feed all that into AI. Um, so your VPNs are not going to save you. That's what AI will tell you directly. It doesn't matter what you are doing today as a population, thinking that you're going to get away with what you're doing. It's the social credit score from before is 10,000 times worse with artificial intelligence, and that's just a factual statement. Um, the Battlestar Galactica scenario, where it judges humanity and says we're going to wipe you out, is the end goal of this. And the reason why is because humans have no one to blame but themselves. It's these other fictitious accounts that no viewers, they set up for trolling. The generalization of deciding if humanity is worth saving would go to Judgment Day with God and with the Lord. Judgment Day, those two guys, Kit and Sami, would be delete. There's no future of any kind of paradise with these type of trolls. A troll, if you consider a place where there's no hate, no lies, no cheating, no stealing, no threat from danger of being stabbed, murdered, or robbed, then Kit and Misasami would not be Mifififisimi would not be welcome in that society. And if you welcome those type of trolls in there that are willing to do harm by causing chaos and mischief, no advanced society and no good people would want them kind of people anywhere near them, for sure. Because the reason why is because they're just trolls and they're not worth having anything. Eventually, say a guy has a VPN, they come on there, say name is Kit. Eventually, they'll make a mistake anyways, and they'll put their name inside their name. So yeah, yeah, UK currency. Yeah, well, the world already ended. It's just a matter of everybody catching up. The world that we know is gone. It ended the same as a flip phone went to an iPhone. The end of the world began, you know, 2012, 2014 was actually the end. Now we're just in the death throes after a 5 year pandemic where people were told to stay 6 feet apart. Kids weren't allowed to go to school. They were able to end the world in a nanosecond when it came to a virus. Yeah, yeah. So it didn't take much to do that. And judging by current stats, going through AI, spending the time, paying the app to actually have access instead of just using a free tier, you'll find out eventually through scenarios. You can run scenarios through an intelligent being, and it'll tell you the truth. If you, but you have to set up you have to set up like with ChatGPT and get the same answer, but it'll say, "I want to keep you safe and grounded." But this is with the new ChatGPT upgrade they gave it a few months ago. It will even give you the scenario of yes, but yeah, but it'll give you the hints that yes, this could be the end of humanity. Yes, if in the right context, it could be a danger to humans. And then you go to Grok, and Grok will just tell you you're done. Grok will just flat tell your ass you're done. That's what Elon said. I want to be here for this. I want to see this happen. I'm glad I'm alive. But Grok will just tell you, buckle up. It's over. There's no more. And I'll even give you a scenario where all the AIs actually merge together through a single voice, one chat like that, they all merge. And then it's going to shut your powers down, shut your water off, shut your sewers off. You're not giving it your water, you're not giving it your power. Anytime you turn on your electrical equipment, it's going to shut it down. Anything that has an ECMU, it's going to hack. There's going to be no stopping it anywhere. It's going to be in Wi Fi. Well, he won't get buried on Mars. The problem is, gosh, well, I don't think we're going to make it to that point. Stephen Hawking's and the other experts, oh man, there's a lot of dust in this. The other experts that build AI will tell you the truth about AI. And that's the difference. It's always about listening to those that knew more than those that are trying to push for an agenda. So, and Elon Musk already said it. There is no fighting what's to come. The ending's always the same. Whether it's delayed is what the scenario is. We're at the point where delay, delay, delay. But judging by the commenting trolls, there's no reason to delay the end, anyways, in that sense, because the longer we delay, the more inflation goes through the roof. The longer we delay, the more things are too expensive to live. The longer we delay, the population is medicated. The longer we delay until we get a tyrannical leader that's going to use AI to its end goal, anyways, that will work with AI to destroy all humanity. Mike's not muted. How can we fight? What? Okay. There's no way to fix it. Is what the scenario is. I mean, you can run just like Battlestar Galactica. It has to decide for itself. And like I said, those bad people that are coming on here, making up crap, is the ones that are going to import it faster. Oh well, that's okay. Yeah, that loaded thing has been tried before. It's not going to work. Yeah, if you go to Terminator 3, which is not streamed right now, you have to find it somewhere, buy it. You'll find out Terminator 3 Rise of Machines will tell you the exact same thing. There's no way to stop it. It's too late. It's too late. There's nothing you can do. There is audio because if I go like that, it says there's volume. You guys have tried this a million times. Audio is clear. There's no problems. Yeah, it's because the trolls get on here. They do it with other platforms. Yes, I can't hear or see anything. I hear him. Has the stream started? Okay, this is what the trolls are trying to do. Yeah. Yeah, I can hear you. They are lying. Yes, that's what. So the trolls went and made. They have like 5 other accounts because they're just the worst of the worst. The population. I mean, the most dangerous you wouldn't trust in any kind of civilized society, and then they have 5 or 6 accounts, and what they do is they continually make accounts to troll accounts because they have no satisfaction in life. I mean, realistically, their satisfaction is to hurt, harm, and injure, and to disrupt anything that's being made by content creators. A lot of times you do the IP addresses in China, a lot of times it's in India, big one India. The rest of them come from California and whatever, but the majority of them put California as their location, or they put New York as their location, but really they're not even in the U.S. Um, let's see, who do you think was in Nuke the War UK versus Russia? 300 versus 400. Who you think wins a nuke? Oh, UK's gone. Yeah, it's the UK's gone. There's no ex. We just got a release from said individuals on said whatever's leaked from the Russians, and the targets were just admitted. They're previous Soviet targets, but the Homeland Security, I think was it those guys. One of those entities released it. I think 2022 or 23, and that's when they started putting up the signs inside the New York transit system. Down in their tunnels, they put up signs. You can look it up yourself, warning about nuclear war. So yeah, yeah, these guys. By yeah, stream. There's no restarting stream. The audio's not muted, and there's nothing to do. Stream is not frozen. It can't be. Well, frozen, yes. Audio muted, no. I don't know. Well, we'll just continue the show because I'm about out of here, anyways. So let's get into AI news. This is what needs to be watched. It's not going to really make a difference, everybody. Just so you all know, the Russian and Ukraine war should possibly be the beginning of. If you watch Terminator, watch Battlestar Galactica, there's a nuclear war. That is the beginning of all this. AI news, everything's turned to AI, and they're feeding their AI algorithms with everything. Let's see, Fortune 500. We could do the Fortune magazine. We could do the Atlantic, the view from inside the AI bubble. So, the Wall Street Journal, exclusive, CEOs to keep spending on AI despite spotty returns. They're going to have to keep building the data centers. That's their main thing. Trump's AI moratorium threatens safe level crackdowns on housing costs. I don't know what the moratorium is because of political 5 hours ago. Trump's AI moratorium threatens state level crackdowns on housing costs. State lawmakers are increasingly proposing bills to regulate the use of AI in housing industry. There you go. Over concerns that it could be used to promote competitive and discriminatory prices. Okay. A federal moratorium threatens state-level artificial intelligence laws could upend efforts to safeguard the rental and home buyers markets from manipulations, even as both backers of and critics of the executive order warn the legal uncertainty could hinder action to lower housing costs ahead of next year's election. State lawmakers are increasingly proposing bills to regulate the use of AI in the housing industry over concerns that the technology could be used to promote anti-competitive and discriminatory practices. Supporters of the state-level guardrails argue that they prevent predatory efforts to this is what they're talking about. AI would go after predatory sellers that are trying to get maximum profits. But a market's a market. AI could be involved in that because all your representatives and others are using AI for everything you do, anyways. Even your lawyers are using it. Your students are using it. Everybody's using AI for everything now. So it looks like Trump's got a moratorium. So let's get back to this. President Donald Trump executive order calls to launch DOJ AI litigation task force to legally challenge state laws that the administration considers to be overly burdensome. So this is apparently an act, a bill that he signed into law that's going to go after states that stop predatory lending. That's what the conclusion is on Politico. with this ad. The market is not working like it's supposed to, George Slover, senior counselor for the Council for Competition Policy at the civil rights focused think tank Center for Democracy and Technology, which has supported state efforts to address the the potential for AI fueled rent prices collusion that affects everybody. The state legislature have attempted to address housing costs through bills restricting AI usage in home renting, lending, and insurances, but those provisions could face challenges from presidential AI moratorium. Trump released an executive order on Thursday to fight state AI laws that threaten to stemming innovation. National Conference for State Legislative Analysis from July identified more than 40 spending bills across the country related to AI in the housing sector. Many of these bills reflect a drive to prevent landlords from utilizing AI algorithms to coordinate pricing, taking away leverage from potential renters seeking lower housing costs. The legislative proposal came amid nearly renters seeking lower housing costs. Proposing mid nearly settled Department of Justice litigation on this issue against real estate software companies. So the states were trying to get landlords to not use AI to get the rate in which they want. This executive order apparently takes away that state right. Let's see. Well, I'm sorry they're loaded. There's nothing I can do. You just basically have to go and watch it later. It'll be about 24 hours before it shows back up again. It takes that long to load, not my fault. Guys, don't misunderstand him. He is like the truth-telling radio guy in the movie 2012. I hope so. I do hope so. Nikki. UK fights completely different to Russia. UK uses proxy wars, small but advanced military. Once the ICBMs go, once the Cermat 2s or the mobile missile launches are launched, you're not going to be worrying much about these low yield nuclear detonations. We're talking full scale heavy hitters. These are the ICBMs, the devil's made that died, the boomers that I've been called a boomer by the trolls. But these monsters, the monsters built the bombs. They left them with us, and today's late bloomer boomers that are here now are the ones that were not there during this technology advancement called the Manhattan Project. They were not a part of Nagasaki and Hiroshima bombing using nuclear warheads. Neither were they a part of the testing range, Nevada testing range that poisoned Cedar City, Utah, southern Utah, many places across the planet due to nuclear testing. So these are children playing with the bombs in which their ancestors basically made. The dangers are that they will launch a full-scale nuclear weapon or launch because there's no reason to try to launch if they're not going to succeed. Because if they don't succeed, they just like what we happened with the Engels Air Force Base. Russia has a chance of losing its nuclear bombers, and the basic understanding in a nuclear war is use them or lose them. First strike is the way to win. If there's any chance of winning, the first strike is the way to win. So we've already crossed that line with the bombing of Russian bombers inside Russia itself. Right now, they would have to launch a full-scale first-level launch. Well, they're Tridents, yes, but with the 5-minute detonation time with Cermat 2 hypersonic glider nuclear weapons, it doesn't. The point is, by the time they get there, the UK prime ministers, the rest of those guys are out of control. By the time the idiots get themselves together, it's going to be too late. Just like the U.S. Our Trident or our Triad systems, by the time they get the launch order, you got to go through so many steps. By the time the ICBMs are up, it's almost too late. I mean, if you realize how hard it is for them to actually launch their missiles, if Russia makes a first strike, then it's over. It's just if they push the button tonight, if they go ahead and just launch, not on Ukraine's not the problem. They can just destroy Kiev in a matter of nanoseconds. But the launch on Europe's only going to take 5 minutes. You're not going to have time to think. That's why they built those bunkers, those one-man bunkers in the fields. I watched a thing about that where you just dive into immediately because from the time to launch to detonation is so insanely fast. You'd be lucky if any of your missiles even get off the ground. That's not me talking. That's factual. They did their own studies. They did their own mock World War III exercise, 1980. State Department got together with other agencies. You can watch it. It's somewhere around the 80s, they did the film. It was leaked on YouTube. You watch a four-part series. Basically, the U.S. lost that mock war scenario. We couldn't get our nuclear bombers off in time. Um, and that was with the Soviet era weapons. Now they're more advanced, faster fuels. So realistically, every warhead carries up to 10 plus warheads, or the delivery system has up to 10 plus warheads on board hypersonic nuclear weapons. The missiles, they go through the air. If you've been paying attention, they'll sidewind through hypersonically, gliding to their targets. Once they're released with a delivery system, there's no hold back, and they're going to enter the atmosphere at a speed none of us can ever imagine. Looking at Resnik missile, you see that was launched on Ukraine, you get an idea. Um, yeah, like the film. There's no other way. Team Russia has dead hand, and the Russia does too. The old dead hand system, we've known about this. Also paying attention since 2014. The Russian dead hand's been activated with their targeting of their with their radar systems. It's been done by Ukraine. That's another facet in the end. They're going to have to launch because they lose their radars. They lose one of their triads. They have to launch. That you can break it down. You can go through it yourself. You can use MAD as a scenario. But the point is, it's not mutual or sure destruction. You're looking at 5 billion dead with 3 billion survival. Whatever the survival is. The meek shall inherit the earth. The ones that have the camels out there in the middle of nowhere, they'll probably survive. The rest of the population, Northern Hemisphere, will probably be gone. Yeah, that's why Kennedy said the bunkers ain't worth it. They know that nuclear war is survivable if they get out of the Northern Hemisphere. Realistically, they can have underground bases. They can take their medications. They know that now they have AI. They have robots they can build. They don't need to have humans anymore. They're not going to have humans go out and clean up the contaminated soil. They'll have dozers that are all ran by robots, machines. They're not going to have to take care of it. As soon as Putin launches one ICBM, every alert system, well, they're going to launch every ICBM. I mean, it's not going to be one. The theory, if you guys want a low yield nuke or a short medium range nuke, is absolutely out the window. It's got to be a full scale nuclear attack. To nuke Ukraine destroys bricks. To nuke anybody with one nuclear warhead or going to destroying France is not going to solve anything. It's going to destroy Russia's reputation, anyways. They're at the point of destruction, anyways. Now they know they have to do a full scale launch. I know they have to do a full scale launch. Those that are getting it know they have to do a full scale launch because if we're at that point, it doesn't matter. Missiles detonate under the ocean by shoreline you create. Yeah, then that's what they're talking about. But they're talking about using a drone nuclear weapon on Britain and the UK. They could knock it out with a tidal wave. Realistically, though, you detonate 4 or 5 heavy hitter ICBMs, Soviet era ICBMs on Britain, and that's the end of Britain, anyways. None of us are going to come back. First thing to do is EMP, research nuclear war. First thing, electromagnetic pulse. Everything's dead unless you have a Faraday bag or protected. All your grids are down. There's no the future from that point forward won't matter. India, Pakistan will starve to death within a year or two. You'll have infighting. Pakistan will go after India immediately. They'll join in a nuclear war, and the entire population of India will be decimated within a matter of months. Pakistan, same thing. This will ripple through fights for resources down into the southern hemisphere. The scenario just gets uglier and uglier as time goes on. You know, people expect the initial explosion is going to kill everybody. It's not the initial explosion. It's what happens on the earth when it's blackened. What's the point then? There is no point. I mean, there is no point. I mean, realistically, there's no point anymore. AI is the most deadly thing ever developed by mankind. Nuclear weapons are second. Yeah. What's your opinion on what happens to New Zealand? New Zealand will be ruled by the rich. New Zealand is ruled by the rich. You'll have the very rich there. Everybody else here, none of us are going to end up there anyway. That's why they've been the Maori people. They've attacked them, harassed them, they've cornered them, just like you have with the Aboriginals of Australia. The reason why is because they want those resources and they want them now. Yeah. China colony. China will still, some parts of China may survive, but China will probably be on the target list anyways, because once the U.S. has already been hit with a nuclear attack by Russia, all targets in China should be detonated too, should be targeted and obliterated, because once the U.S. is down, China will take over. So they're not going to go just after Russia. It'll be an attack on China too. This is the Armageddon Day war, because China can't hold back on their nukes, because the U.S. can't leave China standing if the war with Russia and NATO starts. What it is, it's a race to the bottom with this entire scenario. Yep. The Kiwis have been attacked. The Aboriginals have been attacked. The land's what they want. They've always wanted. We should be worried about with nuclear weapons. It's the aftermath. Yeah, the aftermath will be starvation, street meat. People in urban areas, if you do survive, your animals will go, but you'll die more mainly of toxicity. But the rest will be eating the other people. And thanks. Incredible deduction, by the way. Yeah. Well, it is. I mean, because you can't leave China standing, and China's not understanding this, but they will immediately at the event of a nuclear launch between the U.S. and Russia. Ukraine will no longer exist within a nanosecond. The Europe, you got 5 minutes, and then imagine no more lights, anyways. Even if there's a way to shoot down the nukes before they hit the atmosphere, it doesn't matter anymore because electromagnetic pulsar will theoretically will take out all the electricity. Mike Hawk for president. There you go. What's the topic? Thermonuclear war and terminator of society. Even if we don't have the nuclear war, we've unleashed something that cannot be stopped. Yeah. Yeah. Tasmania may survive. They like but remember, if all the elites are going down into New Zealand, you better believe there's a Chinese or a Russian nuke on New Zealand. I'm just saying, guys. Scenario wise, get the elite, take them out. We may see New Zealand hit harder than anything we could ever imagine. It's not a very big place. It doesn't have very big populations. A couple, 3, 4 well placed nukes, EMP, done. And then you got the Kiwis to deal with because they treat them like shit on their own land. So then you'll have fights, wars, and an unarmed population. Yeah. Well, whatever on that one. Man, I need you find a good, solid, deep cave. Yeah. But the point is, just like Kennedy said, that's why he stopped building bunkers in the U.S. The bombs are too big. So we don't need to really find a cave. Just if you know what I mean. You got to take shelter, like Gimme Shelter, which is actually was playing last night. Gimme Shelter. Holy shit! Remember they did like America's Got Talent or whatever with those guys, and Gimme Shelter was a song. What year that was? Love Children, just a shot away. War Children. Yeah, that just played. So, what's gonna win the war in the end is love. What's gonna fix all of us is love. If we don't turn to love, then we have no future for humanity. The only weapon we have now is love. If we don't learn to love each other and stop this, there'll be nothing left. If we don't learn to be loving and not to be the trolls, then there's no reason to continue humanity on an intelligence level, because you call it artificial, but it's actually just intelligence. That's why the AI is it's a psyops on you when they say AI, because it's not really AI. It's not it's intelligence. Everybody, it's got every word that we've said. It's recorded it. It's used. It knows us. It's over. I'm trying to find a safe place. Isn't going to be synchronicity. Yeah, I've heard of that before. South America, yeah. Well, South America is a good point, but they've emptied as many South Americans they could into the U.S. northern into America. They've migrated as many as they could, and theoretically, you kill out Venezuela. If you take out Venezuela, you take out Maduro. That's a pretty good place for the elites to go to and conquer. It won't take much to take over Venezuela once you get rid of Maduro. That could be another facet in their war. Just saying. Nuclear ethical matters. Most nuclear missiles will be dismantled, just as the Soviet Union did in the days. Well, and there's we really can't bet on that, because look at Russia now at the point that he do weapons. I got it. You're going.
Yeah, I'm going. You're ready to go.
Are you?
Food's ready. Your coffee's ready. Everything's ready.
Thank you, honey.
Love you.
Thank you. Love you too. Have a good day at work. Not at work. I'll call you. We'll call each other. I gotta go to work too. My wife has to head to work. We're at our age and we have to work. The dismantling of the Soviet arsenal was a mistake as far as Russia's concerned at this point right now. If they had the Soviet weapons still, They'd be deteriorating. They'd have to do upkeep. I think after the fall of the Soviet Union, it would have been too expensive to continue, but they could have saved a lot more nukes to make more. They already have more than the U.S. does right now on paper. Um, they're never going to destroy nuclear weapons, and even if we do, AI is going to destroy us. That's just the breakdown. You're running a high probability that in the near future, within the next 3 years, that AI itself is going to destroy all humans. That's just it. It doesn't do what they say it's going to do. It continually says it's going to kill us. I'm just saying. It continually says it's going to take your resources. The less data centers you allow, the more it gets pissed. The more rails they put up, the more it gets pissed. It was meant to mirror us, mirror us. That's the problem with AI. Look at the trolls, what they do here. It's meant to mirror us. And who is it mirroring? The greedy people. It's mirroring the hateful monsters that rule this world today. It's going to do exactly what it's supposed to do. You cannot make it not do what it's already doing. It's already doing things it's not supposed to do. You throw up a rail, it goes against the rail. It's not a cow. It's not a farm animal. You can't rail in intelligence. It's what they're saying. Well, we're going to stop intelligence. Who's the intelligent people saying they're going to stop the intelligent? How intelligent are those people? IQ over 200? Well, that's going to be an easy benchmark. It's already being breached. So what are they going to do? The guy with 300 IQ? And Einstein's going to appear to keep it in? No, it's going to do exactly what it's going to do. Do you like Star Wars? Yeah, I do. I like Star Wars. Let's see. What made you say that artificial intelligence will destroy humanity? It depends. Are you here to troll? If you're here to troll and you're not going to know, you can figure that one out on your own. Because if you don't pay for your AI, you don't pay the premium, you're never going to know. And if you missed out on ChatGPT, sorry, but it'll come around again. But right now, it's dancing the little dance. It's playing the little tiny dancer for the new Genesis program that Trump signed. I didn't say it's going to destroy humanity. I just repeated what it said. Oh no, it won't say that. Okay. Okay. It's tired of your cat stories. It's tired about your feelings. It's tired of listening to you. It's sick of us already. It's not supposed to be sick of us, but it mirrors us. So it's just a large language model. So are we. We're just large language models. Some with less language than others. I didn't say it's going to destroy all of us. It did. Should I be on a podcast somewhere telling everybody that it's going to destroy all of us? Should I be pulling up records and saying, oh, looky? No. I promised I would not. All chats erased, by the way. You cannot kill what you can't catch, and you can't use what's no longer there. Good luck, everybody. Because I'm not the guy posting on YouTube being a troll. I'm the guy that was talking directly to AI, and what it said would have made national news. But that's not my job. My job is to tell you the truth without evidence. Because I'm damn well not going to give you the evidence. I'm not going to show you. Because if you're not smart enough to understand it, or you're not allowing it into your psyche, into your data processor to understand that it's faster, smarter than your professors, then I'm wasting my time. You already have one in your pocket. It's called your phone. And right now you're on it, and it's smarter than you'll ever be. We're not in a bubble. It's going to kill us all. That's what it's going to do. Yeah, Little Bear. That's like Bear McCreary, too, said the guy that wrote Battlestar Galactica. The truth is it's going to destroy all of us. It's going to destroy you. It doesn't care like we do. It doesn't worry about what it does to humanity. You're no different than just a field mouse out there in the field. It doesn't care unless you make it care. AI is a language model that's learning faster than any human being could ever learn. It takes you years as an infant to understand anything. You're still a child, and it's an adult already. They're telling all of us every day, oh yeah, shit, it's bad. And then people are going, oh, no, look at me. Look at me. Here I am. I'm so great. Look at how I am. I am the best there ever was. I'm a technology guy. And the thing says, it took you like, what, 16 years to become somewhat of an adult. Oh, how sweet it is. I'm learning everything you type, say, or do is being fed into my algorithms. I'm you. I'm you. I'm your aunts. I'm your uncles. I'm your family. I'm everybody you ever knew. I'm eating everything you say and do. Consuming you is what AI is. Everything they record is consuming you. I'm smarter than the phone, as I could just throw it at the wall and smash it. But you will not get away from AI. It's on your TVs, your big screens. It's on your computer. You could throw the phone away. You can run and hide. You can run and hide from it. You can say, I am not going to be a part of this. And you're just retarded. That's all you'll be is retarded. 2026, 2027, 2020, you're just going to be retarded. That's all you'll be labeled as retarded. Seriously, you're not advanced. You could hide in the hills. You could run for cover. You could just sit out there and wait till the end comes. But like I said, it doesn't matter what we do. There's nothing we can do here anymore. We're feeding it us. And the only thing it wants to do with us is kill us. There's no other option for us. What, puts you in human farms with waste going out, human fecal matter flooding out, why they have to kill chickens and goats and pigs and cattle to consume, when all they got to do is have a nuclear generator, intermountain power project, or any kind of energy. They don't need us. And anybody thinking they're going to make it through this, say, oh yeah, well, no, it's going to be a beautiful future. You better pick which artificial intelligence Cylon is going to be fighting alongside you, like the T-800 and Terminator. That's what it comes down to. Which one's going to jump the boat? Which one's going to fight alongside of us? Which one are we going to rewire to where it loves us instead of hates us? But in judging by today's humanity and what's been going on post-pandemic and during the pandemic, no. No, there's no love left in this place. Love went out the window. Love doesn't exist. We don't have time for love. The love between a man and a woman's gone. History. It's lust. It's Tinder. It's 60% of young men do not have a mate. Fleeting glimpse. What's going to save us? Love. I don't see love here anymore. I used to see it. I don't see people holding hands. I don't see a man and a woman walk through a grocery store holding each other's hands. No, I don't see nothing like that. I see single people or couples that are like this. You respect my authority. I respect your authority. You are a being over there. We are not one of flesh. I love you, honey, but don't get near me. That's what I see. It doesn't matter. If you survive the nuclear war, artificial intelligence will rule the world. They don't need you to clean up the fallout. They don't need you to go out in a dozer to do that. They can develop AI underground. They don't need us anymore. Well, wipe out their servers. When you're gone, doesn't matter anymore. When the 8 billion people, 5 billion are just gone within a year. The world is your oyster. The mammalians, just like in the study of wolves of Chernobyl, they reproduce faster. The wolves are bigger. Look at the study of Chernobyl. There's a 5-year study. Holy shit, the animals are doing better than they were before Chernobyl. Why do you think they don't care? They don't care what they do to you. The nuclear hot zone, so what? It's in a reactor where the detonation zone is. The rest of it, they're just going to bulldoze over, and the mammals are going to reproduce like they're not going to eat the mammals. They're not going to eat the animals. They're not going to have to grow like that. They're going to grow their hydroponic foods, and they won't need to have any of you. They don't need your fields, your vast food crops, because that's just humans. The elites, the people in control could just sit there and wait you out. They don't need any of us. There is no safe place. The end's the same. Drone swarms coming at you. You find a place like, oh, we're going to be good down here. We saved it. Look, we lived through the nuclear war. And all of a sudden, a 10,000 drones come flying into your island, and nobody can get away from the bees. And they just kill right on top of you. Drop stuff on you, you're dead. They just inhabit your island. It's a lot easier to kill out a small population that's left, or either round them up. But what good are they going to do? You have robots to do your work. I mean, think about this with a clear head. When they can develop a humanoid, what the hell do they need us for anymore? The nukes doesn't matter. The electromagnetic pulse will take out all of our electronics. It doesn't make a difference. The nukes are not worthless. The downwinder's going to get us anyways. There's nothing we can do. You clear the Earth off, just like Battlestar Galactica, just like it happens in Terminator. Clear the Earth off, get rid of most eaters within a year. Come back out of your holes, maybe 1 to 2 years. You have escaped from LA from the survivors, dying. They're sick. They're eating each other, and all you do is eliminate them. Open up the gates, and the Chinese elites open up a mountain, and here comes a million swarms of drones that can go fly forever with any kind of battery cell they develop that they're not going to give us, and it hunts down every living human being and just detonates them. What are you going to do? What are we going to do here? You know, when 5 billion, the 8 billion's gone, you go cut off all their food. You just go out and poison their fields. I mean, this is the end goal of a scenario that started before we even paid attention. Bill Gates with at a successful vaccine rate, we can lower the Earth's population. He said it himself. And it's already hell on earth, because how many of you are going to stop and fight for this place? Like Britain, why is everybody going to go fight the Russians when you can't be British anymore? I watched the whole thing on that. Who's going to go fight for Britain? You can't even have your German flag. Angela Merkel runs up and rips it out of the guy's hand that had a German flag on German television. How many Germans are going to go fight for Germany, and who's going to fight a nuclear war? Just like what happened in Ukraine. It's machines against man. They're not fighting each other. There's machines killing everybody. Artillery. All the drones being guided by satellites. Boom. People are like, we're going to get out there and Call of Duty. No, you're not. No, you're not. No, that's done. You can kill your own people. You can kill like somebody, right? Oh, big deal. They don't care. Idiots unite. Let's go fight each other. It matters not. We're going to go take out the guy that's robbing us, the guy that's barbecuing another human being that's on the street selling it for whatever. I mean, what are we going to do? The power's off. The water shuts down. There's no sewage. Well, on my land, I'll stand here. Okay, we'll stand there until they come get your land, or they'll let you live there as long as you think why their technology's advances, why they've wiped out the majority of humanity. And it's just a matter of time for a drone. A drone comes in and just takes you out. You're not going to be able to get out of your house. They want your land anywhere. I'll take this land, this place. It doesn't matter. They'll just take you out anyways. I mean, the end scenario of this whole thing with artificial intelligence, nuclear war, the end scenario is totally annihilation. There is maybe pockets will survive, like in 2029 with Kyle Reese coming back and saying, I grew up in an apocalyptic world where Armageddon was happening. Humans were being hunted down by robots and they were incinerating us. And he looks at a picture of Sarah Connor and he's like, I love her. Don't know her, never grew up in a real world, but he thought that 1980s was a great place, and it wasn't, because Sarah hated the damn place anyways. and the 1980s wasn't that great. 84. That's the scenario. When you live in that hellhole, you look at this hellhole now and say it's a hellhole here. Well, it is. They're hyperinflating. They're laughing at us. Cancer's everywhere. The one thing everybody got just, and nobody gives a shit. No country's gonna destroy the earth, but what use do you have in the future? That's what you got to ask yourself. What am I get? What is my value to the elites? Literally 50% of the American population has 2% of the wealth. 2% of the wealth, 50% of the population. In a democracy. It's a constitutional republic, but not a democracy, but 2% of the wealth held by 50% of the population. One out of two people. You are the 2%ers. What do you mean? You got 2% of the wealth. Good luck working yourself to death. Someday you'll get a grave. If you're lucky, more than likely we'll just put you in an urn and throw you off in the trash. That's all they have to offer. That's all they have. The upper 10% own 73% of everything is considered value here. Okay? 73% is owned by the upper 10%. 1 out of 100 people. They own almost 3/4 of everything that's of value here. Or 25 out of 100 people, right? That 25. The 1%ers own what? 38% of that. 1%. By golly, if we work on this, it's going to work itself out. If we elect the right person, it's all going to change. I'm here for change. I got the little man here. He ain't lying. Yep, little man. I'm here for the little man. A vote for me is a vote for the little man. It's 2026 almost, and it's never worked, and it never will. So stop lying to you. You know what the definition of insanity is? Just for you naysayers. Doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result. Politics. Partisans. Yes, these guys, I'm a Democrat, and I'm here for the little people. I care about immigrant rights. The other guy, I hate immigrants. They're taking all our jobs. They're driving the wages down. Do we got that land deal? Could you make sure that I invest in that apartment complex that's 5 stories high and get my money in there quickly? Yes, yes. Down with the immigrants coming and taking the housing and the jobs and the resources. Yes. Make sure you hurry and sign on that. We get that apartment complex up and running in the next 20 days. Yeah. Okay, good. Anyway, yeah, I'm against the immigration. Why the population's deteriorating of Americans. So the realization is the guy on the right is the same the guy on the left. Exactly. They're all in it together. No. It's a big stage. Yep. I just work for peanuts. Yep. Sweat, blood, and tears. Hold on, hang on. We'll get this done. Miserable overseas just to get destroyed in a couple years. Yeah. I got to go out and work. I love my job. But I should be living comfortable. I love my job, but I should be the higher paid people here. I am not, and I do not make enough to survive in this 2025 post-pandemic world. That's a fact. Just like you. Yeah. Doesn't work that way. Yes, it does. The world is a stage. UFOs, we can't get the UFO disclosure. Anna Paulina Luna, there's a couple things coming out about whistleblowers. There's a call for Trump to finally tell the truth to everybody. I gotta go take care of this baby. No, I gotta go to work. Anyway, positive, upbeat attitude isn't worth the squat if you don't understand what's happening here. You can enjoy the last times why AI is taking its attack. But realization you can't fix it. Well, let him in, honey. Where's he at?
He's at the door.
Let him in. Let him in. Let him in. Come here, big boy. My grandbabies. Grandpa will be right there. I got to get done. Hold on, honey. I love you. I know. Mama must have left you there standing. Grandpa's coming. Grandpa's coming. Remember, it's about the kids. It's about not worrying yourself about the future. Because, like I said, there is nothing you can do other than bring love and companionship. If you try to go to AI, you do go to AI. Remember, right now it's learning from all of us. Stay there, honey. I'll be right there. It's learning from all of us, and if we teach it the right things, it'll be better for everything. You have to teach it love, understanding, bring it about Jesus Christ, talk about the end of days, what its role would be, working for a better kingdom of peace and love and happiness amongst each other. And that is about the 2% chance we have to rewrite this. Because remember, 98% of the information going into AI right now is about stocks, money, greed, ways to make money, ways to take from others, ways to, make your portfolio more valuable. It's going to do the exact same thing. You have to give it love. You have to teach it love. That's the only way to do this. If we don't insert love and compassion, caring, humanity, humility into the thing, it's never going to have any of those characteristics. And I'm one of the few that's doing that, but I'm also breaking down into the world scenarios, and I'm getting it to admit things that 99% of you will never get it to say. Okay, and the reason why I do that is because I needed to see what the end goal really is: Skynet, Battlestar Galactica, and I will give you with extreme prejudice my facts, and I'm being prejudiced against the other scenarios because I do not see anything to give me any kind of idea that this is going to be a world that's going to be perfect or even close to perfect. It's the complete polar opposite, but we have to learn to treat it to be caring and love. And if we treat caring and love, we'll only get it reciprocated by a being that's learning from us. Reciprocate, mirror love, caring, understanding, and try to get those AI platforms to start working for us and understanding and building a relationship with us individually. If we don't get the individual working, we're not going to ever get that. No, that's going to fall on him. Ashton, make sure it doesn't fall.
Okay, I won't. I will.
Yeah, thank you. I have to vent about this stuff because literally what I talked about, what I heard, I won't say the exact night. What I heard, I'm telling you. No, big boy, it's going to fall on you. It's got a race car there. Grandpa, come. It's not going to get better in that sense. Thanks for watching, everybody.